Welcome to Tomo Yoga. I'll be sharing you some of my yoga routines that I like to do on a daily basis, either in the morning or at night. First, find your stance. Get comfortable. Circle your arms up. Bring it to your sternum in a prayer hand. And take some deep couple breaths. And while you're doing so, make sure you know what your intention for this practice is. Usually for me, I like to thank myself that I am making a time to invest in my body, to take care of it, doing some maintenance work. Whatever your intention may be, there's no right or wrong. We're going to get into all four stance. Hands, fingers are spread out, shoulders width, knees are hip distance, and we're going to start with lateral leg raise. Majority of us are either working in an office, or I should say are sitting down majority of the time, or on our feet. And our hip flexors tend to get tight. And what is nice with the lateral leg raise is that it loosens up the deeper part of the hip flexor. So I like to do that when I start off my day or end my night. Do it with control. Get into a child's pose. Now get back into all four stance. Again, hands are shoulder width, knees are hip distance apart. Make sure your fingers are spread open, and we're gonna do cow pose. When you're doing this, try to synchronize your breathing with the movement. Focus on your body. Any distraction thought, try to decompartmentalize that. Focus on yourself. See how your body is, diagnose it. Go left to right with the hip to stretch the side of your rib cages. Breathe in and out. It's awesome that you guys are taking the time to do this right now. It's freaking awesome. And then now go back to child pose again. And here we will take some couple deep breaths. Keep breathing in and out. Make sure your butt is touching your heels. If it can't, it's okay. You'll get there. Now, raise your right arm up and thread the needle through the left armpit. And while you're doing this, you should feel a stretch on your right shoulder, your head, your face following the thread of the needle, and your cheeks should be resting on the mat. And here, when you're breathing, try to breathe to where you're stretching. So in this case, it will be the right shoulder. Now, we take the needle out, bring it back down, get back to child pose, take a few breaths, in and out. And now we're gonna do the same side on our left. Breathe in and out. Be kind to yourself. You don't want to overstretch it because that can lead to an injury. Each day our body is a little tight, a little more flexible. So just see how it feels. And if it feels good there, great. If you want to go for a little bit more, great. If you don't want to, great. Now go back to child pose again, and we're going to take deep breaths. So child pose for me is like a reset to control my heart rate down. And now we're going to stand up. I like to loosen up my shoulders a little bit. circle your arms up, right hand on left wrist, and then you're gonna lean towards the side to your right, and your right hand should be pulling on the wrist a little bit to stretch your left rib cage. And breathe in and out. Think long. Now switch your hands. Do the same on the opposite end. And if you want a deeper stretch, you can also have your hip to the side that you're stretching your rib cage, and breathe towards where you're stretching. Breathe in and out. And every time exhale, if you want to go deeper, you can bend down more to the side. If you like where you are, just stay there, concentrate. Make sure your tailbone's tucked. I like to shrug my shoulders again. Now, we're going to split our legs and we're going to fold down. So because my hamstrings are actually pretty tight, I like to bend my knees slightly and do a half raise and then fold back down. Let your head hang heavy, okay? And if you want more, if it feels uncomfortable, you can widen your stance or you can shorten your stance. And breathe in and out. Stomach tucked in, so that way it helps alignment with your spine. And if the blood is rushing through your head, you can always do a half lift for a second and then fall back down. This is your practice. I'm just here to guide you through it. And sometimes I like to grab my feet on the ankle side and then pull myself down to the ground a little bit more, but just for a moment. And raise your way back up the same way you came down. And then now what we're going to do is bend our right leg, stretch our left leg, make sure the left foot, toes pointing up to the ceiling, and breathe in and out. And then now switch to the other side, walk your hands over. Left foot pointed to the ceiling. Focus on where you're stretching. Everything else will be balance and technique, which will come as you practice more and more. You will get to understand how your body works.
Think I'm crying on my own, well I ain't.
Now come back to center.
Cause I didn't want anyone thinking I still
wiggle it side to side.
But you still hit my
Grab, put your hands on your hips and come back up. And put your feet together.
Something I don't wanna hold back. Maybe you should know.
And again, I like to shake my legs off here.
My mama don't like you and she likes everyone.
Now we're going to sit down, scoot your butt so you're sitting on your sitting bone, and then get your hands up, reach long and fold and try to grab your toes. If you can't grab your toes, please feel free to bend your knees, because you do not want to hyperextend those hammies. As soon as you feel resistant, hold there, breathe in and out. If you want a deeper stretch, you can try to push your feet towards your hand, or your hand, you can pull yourself in more. Depending on which one you do, it will stretch different parts of the muscle. And just breathe in and out. In and out.
Cause I didn't want anyone thinking I still care or don't. But you still hit my phone up. And baby, I'll be moving on. And I think it should be something.
And then when you come back up, come back up straight, same way you went down. Now put your right leg to a 45-degree angle, hands up, rotate your upper body, fall back down. So on this one, my forehead is not touching my knees. If you want your forehead to touch your knees, feel free to bend as much as you need to bend your knees so your forehead can reach. And play around with it. You know, like what if I turn my body to the left? Does that stretch my left side more? Or if I adjust my body to the right, does that stretch? Try to find your own equilibrium. And always don't forget to breathe. I usually like to close my eyes so I can focus on how my body is feeling more. And then come back out, twist, get back to the center, switch your legs, hands up, twist your upper body, fold back down, grab your toes, grab your ankle, bend your knee if you need to. Find out where you are on your form, because form is the key to preventing injuries. Without the basics, it will be dangerous. You know? And we want to avoid that at all times. Small steps lead to big success. Big steps, yes, it might take to a success that you want, but please keep in consideration that it may have its own ripple effect by injury, overworking your body. Your body is like a car, right? So you have to maintain yourself. If you don't practice on a daily basis or have a set routine and you try to go 100%, you'll most likely hurt yourself. Struggling is different. Pain is optional. Now we're going to lay completely on our back, and you're going to bring your right leg to your right ankle to your left knee, and then wrap both of your hands, your fingers on the left thigh or left hammy, and you're going to flex both feet, and this is going to stretch the right hip flexors, and breathe in and out. If your neck feels uncomfortable, find the adjustment. Does your back feel like it's flat on the floor? Breathe in and out, nicely, calmly. And then switch sides, do the same thing. Interlace your fingers, flex your feet. So you're gonna you both go out your way and the vibe's feeling strong. Small turn to a friendship turn to a bond. You're using opposing forces to stretch that left hip flexors. This is a great way to stretch out them hip flexors. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you're gonna be with me for the last ride. Let the light guide your way. Breathe in and out. Yeah. You're doing great. Truly amazing that you're taking time for yourself to take care of yourself. So thank yourself while you're in the process with your practice.
It's been a long
And now put your feet down, and then we're going to do the yoga setup. Breathe twice, exhale twice when you reach for your toes. We're going to get back to the full stance into a down dog position. Pedal your feet back and forth, stretch it out. Take a nice deep breath. Make sure your fingers are spread out. You're distributing all your weight equally to your fingers and your palms. Same goes with your feet. And then we're going to get into plank position. Lower yourself slowly. Exhale. And we're going to get into cobra. Get your chest up to the ceiling. Come back down. One more time. Chest up to the ceiling. And one day, hopefully you will see the wall behind you. I can't wait for that day. And come down and come back up again. Your hands are there for support. You can push against it if you want to, but try not to rely on your hands too much. Go back to down dog position. I like to pedal my legs back and forth. Take some couple nice deep breaths. Walk your feet to your hand. Fold down. Stretch it out a little bit. Bend your knees slightly if necessary. I have to. And then come up one vertebrae at a time, and your head will be the last. Well done. Circle your arms up. I like to rotate my shoulders back and forth. Lift my knees up. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring your right arm behind you, and your left arm, if you can touch your hand, that would be great. If you can't, put your left hand on your right elbow and push it down. Your spine should be straight as possible. If you want a deeper stretch, you can always grab your shirt or get a towel. This is stretching your right armpit. Do the same on the left side now. Don't forget to breathe in and out. You don't want to suffocate yourself. Do it at your own pace. Switch side if you want to. Breathe in and out. If your chest is near to your collarbone, try to bring your chin up. Oh, I'm sorry. If your chin is near your collarbone, bring your chin up so you can see what's in front of you. Get that neck straight. Push your head against whichever elbow you're on right now. You do not want to backbend though. So if that's happening, suck your stomach in. Engage your abs. Shake it off. Shrug your shoulders.
I don't know why I do what I do, but I do it to you.
Now cross your legs, circle your arms up, bring it to a prayer hand. Acknowledge to yourself, not to anybody, to yourself, for taking the time to take care of yourself. Take a bow. Remember what your intention was. Thank you for joining me at Tomo Yoga. I appreciate you taking your time. I cannot wait to meet you right here at my mat again. Thank you.